Shalom and welcome to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. This is Meditation and Mindfulness with Rabbi Adam Kligfeld.
Morning to those who are here at my office in Los Angeles at Temple Beth Am. Good morning to those who are on Zoom. Hello to anyone who's joining on Facebook Live. The camera's a little schmutzy, excuse me. Okay. And hello to anyone who's listening to this later on the Temple Beth Am podcast series. It's Friday morning in Los Angeles. We're a small but dedicated group of folks who want to claim some time before the day gets going, before the weekend is upon us, for intentionality, return to core, find our bodies again, link our bodies with our spirits, and just have some moments that are the opposite of accident. We begin this week the book and the Parsha of Vayikra. It's called Leviticus in English/Latin, having to do with laws. It's called Vayikra because the first word of the verse is Vayikra, and God called out to Moses. And it's all about the sacrificial system, which was how our ancestors worshipped, right? They didn't know from prayer. They knew from taking something that they owned, which was really valuable, and offering it at the altar, which is sort of akin to our taking something, the most valuable thing we own, which is time, and offering it in prayer, right? That's the connecting point. And I'm going to tease this out a little bit more tomorrow, I believe, Shabbat morning, right? That the analog to the animal or the grain that our ancestors owned that they would not have at the end of the sacrifice, that's what we will have. Like, we can never get back the 35 minutes we gave to Minion this morning, and that's not a small thing, right? And so the word sacrifice is the right word, right? Sacrifice means for the right reason, like slaughtering an animal, but it means giving up something that you'll never get back. The first korban that is discussed in the book of Vayikra is the olah. Olah literally means going up, right? An aliyah to the Torah, making aliyah. El Al, it's a great name for an airline. Right? Two up, El Al, right? Two up, with maybe the first El, the ayam aleph lamed, evoking the divinity, because El is also God, right? So it's a lot better than American, United. So why is it called the Olah? Because it's the one korban that, anyone know the English name for that? When people refer to the Olah in English, it's called anyone know? It's called the burnt offering for some reason. I mean, all the offerings were burnt, but it's called the burnt offering because one of the things that we learned about the Olah is that it was burned up entirely on the altar, right? None of it was given to the Kohen to eat. None of it was, there was nothing done with any other part of it. It was supposed to be completely incinerated on the altar. And so it was an olah because even though our tradition understands that God is everywhere, God is both everywhere and up, right? Anyone who had kids in the ECC, right? Hashem is here, Hashem is there, Hashem is nearly everywhere, up, up, down, down, left, right, and all around, right? Mm-hmm. So we try to teach our kids that God is everywhere, but most spiritual traditions also have an idea that the divinity is there. So the idea is that the reach nichoach, the smoke from the olah, which is the remnant of what had been the animal, will ascend, olah, and God will be able to whiff our self-sacrifice. It's interesting to map our spiritual life onto the different forms of the korbanot, not only because they're connected historically, but because maybe it'll help us understand what a prayer moment should be or what a meditative moment should be. And we don't incinerate ourselves, obviously, right? Our tradition would be against immolation, right? We would not consider it something that God would ever want to put ourselves on fire, right? There are some traditions that don't think that. But what would it mean to pray or even breathe in a moment in such a way that, at least momentarily, we don't exist? We've dissipated. And that we're not just offering prayer, we're becoming prayer. That might seem very, very highfalutin, but I think that's what the Olah is, right? That this animal that I've offered is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. It's become part of the ether. It's become part of God's realm. It's only there. It's not here. So we are here. And the question is there something we can arrive at in our meditative mode where we're not here? And that's okay. We're not dead. We've just been offered. Not just the moments, but our very beings. Can we breathe ourselves into temporary non-existence? With that in mind, I invite you to close your eyes. And you can start by reminding yourself of the obvious, that you're very much here. Your body, your clothing, your belongings. You are very of this earth, and you are physical, and you are material. And our tradition embraces that. But then just notice the noticing. As you were noticing the three-dimensional physical parts of you and your life, just noticing what was doing the noticing. Can you locate that? There's a part of you on some level that is not here, that transcends stuff and matter, that can be totally decoupled from body. Let your mind toggle back and forth between the you that is substance and the you that is considering yourself as substance. But that second you is beyond substance and no less real. Maybe even more real. Im olah korbano. If your offering, if your sacrifices is to go up completely, for the physical to disappear, for all to remain as the metaphysical. Just see if you can breathe yourself not just into offering an olah, but being one. Not just saying a prayer, but becoming a prayer. Just directing your mind towards the heavens, but by joining the heavens. Im olah korbano. What if your offering was offering everything? Start to think about the return that you'll do in a few minutes. Back from nothing to some. From having offered yourself as an olah. What version of you comes back to this realm? Once you've offered your entirety, do you have more or less? If you a lack, give it up. Part of you, or a gain. The next time you open your eyes. Back. Share the meditation prayer on the screen. You can hand those out. We'll say this 3 times together. May we and all beings have happiness in the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering in the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. And may we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with a compassion for all. May we and all beings have happiness in the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering in the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. May we and all beings have happiness in the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering in the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. Say to all shalom, namaste, Shabbat shalom, happy Vayikra.
You have been listening to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. If you enjoy these podcasts, we invite you to write a review on the Apple Podcast site or wherever you get your podcasts. For more information about Temple Beth Am Los Angeles, go to tbala.org.